friends should be allowed to sue a friend's girlfriend who ruins the vibe.
Oh, yes. I do like this.
Class action. We've got 12 people signed on right now.
Killing the vibe.
And I got texts. I got receipts. I'm in court. Yeah, on the 7th. But did you say that he had to come home early? It was 11 p.m., but he had to prove the night out with the boys? You were feeling down, okay.
You were feeling down. It wasn't actually an emergency? Okay. All right. I've got a silly one. It should be illegal to reject me.
That was a different episode. We discussed it in. But yes, 2 episodes of we do this. Robin got rejected. And she was sad about it. I think
sad and shocked.
Welcome to On the Apps, a dating podcast. My name is Julian. I'm a comic in New York City.
Robin Richardson, Julian's wife, attorney in New York City. Easy puke.
Attorney is relevant in this case. I have my laptop here because we're going to be looking at a few of the craziest marriage relationship laws that exist for real in the United States.
Oh, only U.S.
I just said U.S. Maybe I could do more. But
No. I think it's probably good to stick to U.S.
Yeah. Now, first, actually, I'm trying to be more specific because there are some laws that are like technically on the books that are like 300 years old that aren't enforceable. These are ones where like there have been somewhat recent cases that have actually happened.
Really? Okay.
Yes. This first one is completely insane. This is one that drew my attention to this whole thing. This is a real law that exists in North Carolina and to a lesser extent, less enforceable extent, a few other states. There are technically 2 parts to it, but I'll start with the first part. It's the most interesting. Alienation of affection.
Ooh, yeah, those are real laws, but I didn't know that they were still like being practiced.
As of this year, there are around 200 to 250 cases filed in North Carolina every year. Not all of them go through, and I'm sure even fewer have actual monetary damages, but there are 2 big ones I found, but I'll quickly explain what the law is. So effectively, alienation of affection is a fancy way of saying some skank ruined my wedding. Well, not my wedding, my marriage. Doesn't mean woman can be a man, but effectively if I'm married and I'm happily married and someone else comes in and fucks my partner, I can sue that person for quote unquote ruining my marriage and my life. Now, I'll get to the morality of it first. Not first, in a second. But first, what do you need to prove? There are 3 main elements you have to prove. I have to prove, right? So to put an example, I'm married to Robin. Pretend we're not open. She sleeps with someone else. If I can prove that we did in fact have a genuine and loving marriage.
Michael B. Jordan. It was Michael B. Jordan.
It was Michael B. Jordan in this hypothetical, which is actually good for me because it's for the third point, which you'll see in a second. Exactly. So we have to prove it was a genuine and loving marriage. I have to prove that that marriage was ruined. So the marriage is no longer workable. It's going to end. And that it was the third party.
Your Honor, she had Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, what can I do? Michael B. Jordan, stop charming the judge, okay? He shouldn't be allowed to be topless in here.
Get those dimples out of here.
He's got to put his shirt on, I think. Can we all? And the third thing is that this third party, Michael B. Jordan, I have to prove that his actions led to the destruction. So what that basically means is I need a bunch of text messages and photos proving that you did actually sleep with him.
Gotcha. And also that if he hadn't, like, do you have to prove, like, if
we were already loving,
nothing would have ever happened. I wouldn't have left you or whatever.
Yes, we were already happy and loving.
Do we have to get a divorce in order for that to happen, or we have to like break up for that?
What do you mean?
Is that one of the elements?
I'm not entirely sure if you have to. I mean, all these people did eventually get divorced. Okay. I don't know where that fit in the process, but you have basically proved, like, in my head, the marriage is done.
Yeah.
So, for now to the morality of it, right, I was looking at the difficulty they have proving this, and it's because, rightfully so, juries have changed their mindset. Because back in the day, I think this is changing a lot.
It was much more cut and dry.
Yeah, more sexist, because it was like, men never got in trouble for stuff. It was a great time. I don't know why we didn't go back to it. But if I fuck someone else, and it still happens in some what I would call immature relationships, where like a man and a woman are dating, the man fucks a girl from work, and then the girlfriend hates the girl from work. And it's like, but your boyfriend cheated.
Yeah,
like
he's the one who owes you something.
Exactly. And here's what's so crazy about these laws, right? So the most recent case that I saw, there's one in 2019, which is more interesting. There's one this year, which is less. But the 2019 one, the other man, it was a married couple, the other man who fucked the wife had to pay $9 million. And that was broken up, 2.2 million in compensation, and 6.6 or 6.8 in punitive damages. Like, they're paying to punish him for the wrong thing he did. $9 million.
That's so much money.
But here's the craziest...
Was it worth it?
But here's the craziest part of it, is the person in the couple who did the cheating has zero financial obligation.
Yeah, that's so strange.
Isn't that an insane law?
Yeah. It is.
And it's still getting passed today. And what was crazier, the one that was passed this year, or went through this year. Argued this year.
Determined this year.
Was 1.5 million, 1.75 million. 1.5 million of that was alienation of affection. And to be clear, that entire thing, the basic premise of that is you destroyed a marriage.
Julian, hear me out. And if we do any of this, we're going to have to erase this entire
I hear what you're
episode.
saying. We moved to North Carolina.
We moved to North Carolina. We just honeypot all these millionaires and billionaires, and we got ourselves a beach house.
I think that's a smart idea. We have to delete all the podcasts because they're like, you guys are open. Give me money. Give us money now. Money, please.
Money.
Well, that's an interesting idea because that is a funny way to game the system. That'd be a good movie in that, actually. And then it just shows them getting together at the end. And like the original husband and wife, been like, got him again. We're going to start smoking, but I think we can do it.
Like the worst heist in the world.
Just as long.
Just like 2-3 years of drawn out discovery and trial and.
Well, I would assume they would go. A lot of them, we could probably just get them pre-trial, and we can get a deal for less.
I mean, when you're throwing out numbers like 9 million, then yeah, maybe.
We can get a quick $500,000.
Yeah.
Kind of mad you haven't been doing this already.
Yeah, honestly, I've been slacking.
Disappointing. But here's the other funny part. I mentioned there were 2 laws that have technically fallen under this one idea. Alienation of affection and criminal conversation. Do you know that law?
That one.
Criminal conversation is just the fucking. So, technically speaking, alienation of affection only happens when the marriage is destroyed. So what you're punishing them for is the fact that they destroyed the marriage.
Okay.
But it's also just a crime to do adultery. It's a civilly charged crime. Oh. So in the case this year, which is 1.75 million, 1.5 of that was alienation of affection, and 225,000 was just criminal conversation, which means effectively
the conversation is the
sex. Yeah, sorry, show the camera real quick. She's doing sex. It's not right though because it went for too long. But so it's kind of funny. So he paid $225,000 to fuck the woman, and then 1.5 million to ruin the marriage.
Wow.
Although this case was reversed, sorry, it was a woman fucking a man. Okay. And then the big thing that came, there was this quote, because the lawyer argued that she was humiliated, the wife was humiliated. Oh, watch out, Taco's up there, do you want to grab him? The lawyer argued, when you're thinking about alienation of affection, you have to think about the humiliation the spouse went through. Miss Kennard flaunted her relationship with a married man, and of course it went viral, and my client was humiliated as a result. So I think the person was an influencer and that was bragging. Effectively, that is what they're accused of.
The affair partner was an influencer.
The affair partner was an influencer who was then like, I'm going to steal this man or something.
Get ready with me while I steal someone's husband.
My problem with it effectively is they would argue well, she was flaunting at this. I really do firmly believe, and I actually got into some discussions at work about this, and I think people disagreed. I think you can do whatever the fuck you want if you're the other person. I think I can draw up, if you can come into my apartment, you can see a giant whiteboard where I have a 20-point plan to destroy your marriage. And whilst that is immoral
it's not great.
And it's dickish, that's not illegal. Someone can hurt your feelings and you don't get to sue them.
Yeah. I had a similar outrage when you sent me an article about a man in, I think it was Florida, maybe it wasn't Florida. He just got arrested again for sniffing women's butts. And to that I say, what's the crime? I don't think it's right. I don't think you should sniff women's butts. I just don't know what exactly the crime is. Should it be criminal?
Robin is technically...
He's not touching anyone.
You're quoting the founders right now. Loosely quoting them. At what point is it the government's role to interject?
Yeah, that guy should definitely get yelled at and humiliated and thrown out of stores.
I think if you're snipping butts, humiliation might actually be what you're looking for.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be allowed on private property. You should be able to get kicked out. You should be able to get yelled at. But
So in your imagination...
you're not touching anybody. What's the harm?
How close, in your mind, can my nose get to your butt?
As long as you don't touch it.
What if you backed up into it?
Then I think you're still fine.
Your Honor, she backed up.
Yeah.
Your Honor, she backed up.
I mean, if you're doing it in a place where she's going to have to back up, that you're,
So she's doing yoga and she leans forward, and then I sneak in, and then she leans back? Because that's the one I do, and they hate that.
Yeah, you can't corner someone with your nose. And just dare them to back up. But and I'm not saying go out and sniff butts. I'm just saying it's not criminal.
Yeah, I mean, I think...
that is a waste of taxpayer dollars.
Sure. I worry about losing the thread. Because I think my first argument was I a man should be able to fuck another woman, and then that other woman has to pay $9 million.
Yeah,
and
I agree with that 100%.
And you said, and also, while we're not on the topic, maybe I shouldn't get in trouble for sniffing butts on the subway.
It wasn't me. It was some repeat offender, a repeat butt sniffer.
And you've never been caught.
He has a criminal record for sniffing butts, which means this is somebody who's like doing this compulsively, right? Like he doesn't have control over
Well,
it.
I don't think it's his job. If that's
and
what
I
you're
just
saying.
say, like, for considering what the range of compulsive behavior could be, I don't know. It's not a problem for the justice system.
It's a problem for some woman getting her butt sniffed. I get
Is
what
it
you're
a problem? Like, what does it take from you? You're like, oh my god, that man sniffed my butt.
Okay.
Like,
Well, the funny thing is, Robin, for those of you who don't know, is a public defender, and so she's right in her wheelhouse here. But
where's the harm?
she's the harm. I think you. Anyway, but you're very funny because you're very progressive in so many ways, but because you deal with certain people who are on the sex offender list too, you, in your mind, are not actually evil people, but have just kind of done things and are over-penalized, and all the things you said about, like, they can't leave prison until they have a house, and they can't get a house because of this and this. You are this weird progressive feminist woman who's like, oh, your butt got sniffed, grow up.
Grow up.
Grow up.
I do kind of, like, there are some things that are just like, okay, grow up. Like, don't do it, he's not doing it to kids. He's not doing it, like, you're a grown-up.
So to be clear, but now you're getting mixed up because you said it's not a crime because I'm not touching, but then you said it was a kid. If it was a 10-year-old kid,
I don't think you should be allowed to follow kids around. Like, I think there are things that you should just definitely
yes,
not
but
be
so you
allowed
think
to
that
do
is the
with
place for the criminal justice system. So it's an age thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, the criminal justice has.
So
has
I
a
go
lot
up to
of
a woman
things
on the
that are age
train
things.
and I go, how old is your daughter?
Like you.
And they go, she's 17. Okay, her butt will go unsniffed.
Unsniffed. I will not sniff it. Well, I mean, it's arbitrary, but we are very comfortable making laws based on, like, arbitrarily on this cutoff.
But usually age would be an example of, when you talk about the sex offender list, you say that age is an example of, you'll be at a harsher punishment point and level-wise if it's a younger kid. But the point is they still admit it's a crime regardless of age.
Yes,
This is an example where you're saying it is a crime only on age, which is kind of unusual.
Well, no, that's not unusual. Like, it's a crime to have sex with somebody who's under 18. It's not a
when?
crime to have sex with somebody who's over 18. We have that. We already have that.
Sure, but I get what you're saying. But it's like those are consensual. This is non-consensual butt sniffing. I don't think you're saying I should be allowed to non-consensually do something to who's over 18, but not to someone who's under 18. I don't think there's an example of that.
I think there are things like that. Like, you're not supposed to be like, you're not supposed to advertise certain things to kids.
Like butt sniffing. Do you like Roblox, kids?
There are things. I think they might be outside of the criminal
Okay.
stuff.
Well,
But
I don't want to end up on that list. So let's stop discussing this butt sniffing of kids that you brought up for some reason.
Where's the harm?
What we're trying to say is don't go fuck other women in North Carolina. Is what we're saying.
Yeah. If you're gonna cheat with a married woman or a married man, do it in South Carolina.
100%. Unless you have $225,000 to spare, which seems insane. Having said that, though, I now want to do a quick game show. I've got 2 little game show ideas. I'm trying to add more game shows to these, see if it's more fun, so we can get some views. People love a
Give
game
us
show.
views, things.
If you're watching this right now, good.
Please. It
Find a
helps
friend.
us so much. It genuinely does, and we really appreciate it.
And Robin, she's in jail for butt sniffing. I don't know if that was obvious from what you said. You're like Steven Crowder when he was like, it should be illegal for women to divorce their husbands. And then shock horror, 2 weeks later, it turned out his wife was divorcing him. You're just dropping these seeds.
It's not fair.
I think butt sniffing people shouldn't be such narcs about butt sniffing.
I'm pretty sure butt sniffing is not illegal in New York. Like,
Frowned upon.
Frowned upon, yeah, but it's not illegal.
Otherwise, this guy would be in trouble. Okay.
I want to see the statute.
So, I'm going to give you 2 things. You say which one's real, which one is fake.
Okay.
Okay. One of them is this idea, it's referred to as a palimony law. It's basically saying even if you're not married and not even statutorily married, if you've been together long enough, you will owe them money upon divorce. They would argue that I still am owed money because I'm used to a lifestyle.
Okay, that's real in some states.
Okay, well, this game is less fun with the lawyer, I'll tell you that much. Here's the fake one then.
Okay. No, don't do that.
Well, I'm kidding. Okay.
You might be able to trick me.
Okay, well, this one actually, I don't know. This one is the idea that someone did sue for banning, for doing a breakup on a special occasion that they had planned. So they had like an engagement party. I'm like, you can't break, there was money in this party and you can't break up with me then because you've ruined the party. You should have done another night.
That sounds fake. Is that real?
What's your formal guess?
It's fake.
It is fake.
Yeah, that sounds fake.
Okay. What was the next one? Okay, this one is a court case where it was argued that in their vows and in like the legal document it said, be together forever. And then they said that actually is legally unbinding because it's too ambiguous. It has to be death to you apart. You're not together forever. And the other one was that there's a state where cheating initially automatically voided a marriage license. You didn't if cheating was discovered, you didn't have to apply for it. Your marriage license was just done.
Okay, so these are two different things?
Yes.
One is that if you say...
it's partly law, but I'm also saying partly law, and it's English. Partly laws as opposed to whatever weird childish... It's partly laws or just like particular cases, not like one law, but like an interpretation of something happened.
So in the...
One is the idea of suing someone because they broke up with you on like a really special day.
Okay, well that's fake.
And the other one is cheating automatically voiding a marriage license.
I think that's fake.
They are both fake. Okay, you know what? I tried to throw a curveball at you, and whatever. Okay, fine.
There was one other one. You did two in one question.
No, that was...
Oh, that was just an addition.
That was just the way I explained it. Okay. Okay, I got a whole list here. I got to pick one real and one fake. Okay, this is one where I'm suing someone for calling off an engagement and wanting monetary...
Real.
And, what's it called? And
adultery. That used to be a big deal back in the day.
Adultery being a criminal charge.
That's real.
Yep, they're both real. Okay, I can't trick this woman. Fucking lawyer. Lame. Boo.
Boo this lawyer.
Okay, this one. Okay. Real or fake? Real. Sniffing butts.
Sniffing butts should not be illegal.
Okay,
and I really want to see the statute of how they make that.
The statue?
The statute?
No, the butt sniffing statue. That's what you want to see. Here stands Robin Richardson, the defender of all butt sniffers. And the statue is it's
I will defend all butt sniffers. I'm pretty sure it's just that guy. Actually, no. Men are disgusting.
Can I tell you something?
Men are disgusting.
Let me tell you, first of all, you're the one who... Oh, we didn't talk about this episode, did we? Okay, damn it.
I saw a video of a guy who it was like, man sniffs seat of underage girl, and I was like, wait, what? And because I expected they meant seat to mean butt, and like I said, I'm not really into underage. Yeah, but she was sitting on a couch in like a lobby, and he was like cleaning.
Yeah.
And she stood up and she left the entire building, and then he ran up and sniffed the seat, and I was like,
but you still don't think that's illegal?
Not like it's obviously not illegal, but
you should fire that guy.
No, why? Because he's sniffing seats.
Because it makes people uncomfortable.
But she didn't even know. She's gone. She's gone. She's gone.
What do you think about peeping toms?
I don't like that.
Okay, but what if you didn't know I was there?
Yeah, but you're not even seeing anything. Like, there's no... What's the invasion of privacy? Do you have like an interest in the privacy of the smell of where you sat? There's probably nothing to even smell.
But I don't want people to know my scent.
I think most people, when you sit on a couch and you stand up, the couch doesn't then smell like your butt.
Well, that's why you got there so quick. You didn't have much time. Well, but I'm not going to sit here and explain.
Unless you're like bleeding. There's like it's not going to leave anything.
Lawyers are weird, and that you're like, well, Your Honor, was there blood on the couch?
What did he smell? He's just smelling her butt print.
Yeah.
Like if somebody ran up and smelled like your footprint, would that be?
Well, that's allowed, right? asking for a friend. No, men are disgusting, but I love your point. You're like, yeah, they're disgusting, but it's not illegal. It's not a place for the court.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Like it should be dealt with socially.
I mean, Robin, didn't you have one of your poems that worked really well? At first they came for the butt sniffers and I did nothing because I was not a butt sniffer. Oh, no, I think you're the last line, and then they came for the butt sniffers.
No, and then I'm the last line, and then they came for the 41-year-old women who are trying to date 20-year-olds.
And there were no butt sniffers left to protect me. Okay, I got final game. We've talked about laws and relationships that exist. Let's talk about ones that we would make if we could.
If we could. Oh.
So I'm making a law. I have 3 lined up. You'll have to think about it, but we'll discuss mine first, then you can do yours. So number 1.
About marriage or about like...
I'm doing more relationships, more general.
Okay.
So number 1, it's illegal to ghost. Okay?
Oh.
And I know that sounds bad, but I would like to create a public norm where I can send a text to someone. I can say, hey, listen, this is actually a legal document. My lawyer signed it. I just want confirmation this is over or ongoing. And I don't really mean to actually enforce this, but what a funny idea of like, you can send a text and be like, oh, and just because I think we are way too fucking cowardly. And I was too cowardly until I think I've had a few people yell at me to just be like, I'm no longer interested. Just say that or say the truth. And it would be a much better world. And maybe the justice system's got to get involved. Again, not really. I mean, you don't even like butt sniffing being illegal, so this would be government overreach in your eyes. But I think that's a funny idea. Ghosting is illegal. You just have to, and it would become so normal to be like, yep, there's a text, I'm done. There's a text, I'm done.
Okay, well, mine is better, and it's.
Okay,
I think
cool.
it started happening in a number of states, but it's not all the way around. But stealthing should be criminal. Like if you agree to have sex with somebody with a condom, and then somebody sneakily removes that condom on purpose, in order to trick you for any reason, that should be an assault.
I was under the impression that it was in some places, and I assume.
I think it is in some places.
I mean, the problem
but I
is.
also think that like that's another one that's like very, very difficult to prove. But it should be treated seriously.
Yeah, well, as in certainly, I mean, whether you make it a law, whether you can prove it or not, people will discuss it as such, and I think that stuff sort of bleeds in. Sort of like how we never really talked about the idea of getting blackout drunk and having sex with potentially a crime, because there were so many movies when like a guy and a girl would wake up in bed and be like, oh, have this happen, and people would even joke. On like when podcasts went around back then, but it was like a teen movie thing, or like she was so wasted, and then like slowly as a man you started to see that discussion filter into like normal discussions, and then someone would tell a story like that, and one guy would be like, "That's kind of messed up."
Yeah.
Or like, do you see that thing with was it? And he was telling a story on a podcast where he was like, it was so funny, like this other guy was having sex with this girl, and then as a prank, like he left and I snuck in and I started fucking her, and it didn't know, and one guy in the pod's like.
That's rape.
But more than that, he goes like, genuinely, I wouldn't tell that story. He's like, that's what you did was illegal, and he was like, no, it's funny. And my point being,
that's rape.
To the stealthing thing is like, even if it was not really, because it's very difficult to enforce. Because like, genetically, I think they'd be like, even if they did a test, you can't like. I'm sure if you have condom sex, there's still enough. I don't know if they'd be able to prove the.
You're gonna have to save that jizz.
What? No,
you're gonna have to kegel that in and take it to the police department.
But
Kegel it all the way to the cops.
No, but you could argue it broke. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
but my point is, it's more about...
it would be difficult. Yeah. But at the very least, it should be like one of those things that like people are like, yeah, that's illegal. That should be, you're gross. We hate you.
Yeah.
I got another one. If you, any elected official who takes any stance on abortion, like if there's a stance on abortion, if there's a vote on abortion, that elected official has to
publicly disclose
how many abortions they have had and or paid for.
100%.
There should be some deep investigation.
I think an easier way to do that potentially, not easier, is just HIPAA basically doesn't apply to them for abortions.
Yeah, or well, I mean that wouldn't really apply to men. I would love to see abortion just like destigmatized. Period. So. If we lived in a different world, I would love for all abortions to just be publicly known.
I agree. But obviously, I get that there's...
I don't really want an abortion registry, actually, but just like...
Because the problem is, that's one of those ideas, like, someone... Because you say that, I'm like, I get what you're trying to do. It's
like that's what Donald Trump is trying to do right now, okay?
You guys actually have a lot in common. You guys have great ideas. I just think we should keep a registry of every woman who...
No, but they did try to do that in Virginia as well, like back in the 2010s. Or just at the very least, like women should just like hold on to that information, and anytime one of their sneaky links,
becomes Republican and does that,
they just go, okay, well,
he got one. Well, the best
we were gonna have a baby, and
but they also don't care because who was that guy? He was a footballer. He ran for Senate. He had brain damage, I think. Black guy, kind of like look like a bigger dude, but he got an abortion.
Ran for Senate in
he paid for an abortion. He said abortion was murder. I paid for it. He's like, well, I'm sorry. It's like, you're a murderer.
Yeah, don't you think you're a murderer?
Like, you should be in jail according to anyway. So the point is they don't care. But I do think if they did have an abortion registry tomorrow, and it was publicly available, I get what you're saying about like. Obviously, it could be used to hurt women, but I think there'd be so many women on both sides who have it that they could not, unless they.
Well, I mean, the truth about abortion, too, is that it is so common, and many, many people who are anti-abortion get abortions or love people who have had abortions.
All the time.
And they'll know about it, and they just think, oh, well, my abortion is different.
Well, of course.
I had very different circumstances.
My daughter is a shining star. Mm-hmm. She was going to go to college. Mm-hmm. That other woman's daughter is a little slut. Mm-hmm. My daughter was tricked.
Or it's like, oh, well, we're married. We're not ready for another kid. Da, da, da. Like, they have all these ways of justifying why they are doing it, and they just assume the very worst of everybody else. So if we had a registry and everybody knew who was getting abortions, and you just that the silence around abortion is one of the things that makes it stigmatized and allows this fiction.
It's kind of like everyone has this thing that's happened. It's like everyone has a zombie bite, but no one's admitting it. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, okay, so we're all zombies. Mm-hmm. That's a bad example. I'm not saying people get abortion as zombies.
I fucked this guy like in 2020, and he was very, very conservative. He had voted for Donald Trump, and I was like, one of the things he was so serious about was abortion. But he had had 2 abortions in his last relationship, and he's like, "Well, we weren't ready for a kid," and I was like,
but some of them have that dissonance. Okay,
his muscles were very big, and he was really good looking, and I was never going to see him again. So.
Am I good looking enough that I could be anti-abortion?
Not now. Now my pussy is political. Now my pussy's all. It's a prune inside my body
it's
now.
Partisan.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. Next one. Yours are serious, which are good. I did silly ones.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Next one. As friends should be allowed to sue a friend's girlfriend who ruins the vibe.
Oh, yes. I do like this.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know exactly how to do it, but just to be like, hey, we're launching actually we've actually got a civil. What's it called where everyone piles on?
Like it's a
not liability. There's a word for it, but it's like everyone a civil
class action.
Class action. A class action. We've got 12 people signed on right now.
Killing vibe.
You need to come there and prove that you're not killing. And I got texts. I got receipts. I'm in court. I'm just like, yeah, on the 7th of October, did you say that he had to come home early? It was 11 p.m., but he had to prove the night out with the boys? You were feeling down, okay.
You were feeling down. It wasn't actually an emergency? Okay, well, all right.
Yeah.
It's going against you. I've got a silly one.
Okay.
It should be illegal to reject me.
That was a different episode we discussed it in. But yes, 2 episodes if we do this. Robin got rejected. And she was sad about it. I think
sad and shocked.
Sad and shocked. I think the legal system should be out of that one. I think it's held up. I think actually you deserved it. Hold on.
Was it on account of me sniffing butts?
Yeah, big butt sniffer. Oops, sorry, buddy. This is our legal expert. Oh, don't look at my feet, perverts. Okay.
Sickos.
All right, I got another one. This is specifically related to us.
Okay.
I don't know how to enforce this legally. I just think the determined level of cleanliness of an apartment, we should have a judge come in and it should be placed in between the clean party and the dirty party, whereby the level of cleanliness that I have to improve upon myself is equal to the level of dirtiness you have to accept into your life.
Oh, did you think that was a fun one?
It's a fun one. That's a fun one.
Okay. I think that the law should be as it is, and instead of being enforced legally, I will just continue to enforce it physically.
Well, I'm going to keep sniffing butts on the subway, so joke's on you.
The joke is that I beat my husband.
No joke. Those are the jokes you're still allowed to make.
Cancel me.
You're already cancelled in my eyes. Okay, so do you have any other funny, silly laws you could do?
A funny, silly one. I do think if you have a friend who every single time they get a boyfriend, they disappear, or a partner, they disappear, you should, and they want to be friends again, like when they break up and they have like, oh my God, I have another one after this. They should have to have like a probationary period. Also, and actually, I you know what?
Can I just add to yours and say back pay?
Back pay, yeah.
Back pay of friendship things they missed.
You got to listen to everything that's gone on in my life for the last.
You have to take a test on the group chat that you missed.
Yep. Because we don't need to catch you up every time we get drinks. The next one is if you have a piece of shit partner and you talk shit about them all the time to all of your friends, and they finally are just like, break up with him, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna break up with him, and then you do. You're not allowed to get back together with him because we've all already shit talked him. What shit talk? Yeah, shit talked is.
You shat talked.
I shat talked. We shat on him. We shat on him in the for however long. We did that for you. We did that to console you. And now you got to make me sit across the table from some scuzzy guy whose mother I demolished in the chat, and act like that's just normal.
So how that would look, functionally speaking, is you get back together with them and then you get a letter in the mail that goes, hey, actually, this is a violation of the Robin Law 6.0. You shit-talked him, shat-talked him.
Yeah, and then you roped me into it, and you made me shit-talk this person.
And now we feel like...
Not feel, we know.
We know.
We've proven in a court of law.
We have proven in a court of law that you've made an unsafe environment for us that we don't want to be part of. So break up with them or find new friends.
Find new friends, yeah. And it shouldn't be like, like it's just like, oh yeah, I did do that. I gotta take my licks. I made my bed, now I'll lie in it.
And there are application processes you can go through to reaffirm the friendship. You can do it and do
But you
back
gotta
pay.
leave the guy. Yeah. You gotta leave the guy. Yeah. Don't, because like by that time when you, after a breakup, you tell us all the worst things.
Yeah.
All the worst things. Like and now I've got to be like, oh yeah, she's back together with that guy who always has skid marks in his underwear.
Who was
And
that?
I know that. I'm not gonna say it on the podcast.
Okay. It's
It's
Pancake.
all of them.
Well, I think with that one, it's also just good advice. When you're young in your first relationship, you love talking shit about your partner to your friends because you're really stressed. And then after you've done that, if you've gone through that cycle a few times, like they will always hate that partner. And then when you need them to like them, because they don't see the good stuff or feel the good stuff, and like they don't feel if it's great sex or something like that. So you want to keep seeing them, and it's like, yeah, So that's just not. You should console on your friends, but be aware that they will hate him 10 times over or hate her 10 times over, and you can't then want them to like them again. So don't. You have to look at it like when you're complaining to your parents about something. You know, when you complain to your parents, and then you know they're going to lock that in, they're going to fucking use that against you. So it's like use it rarely.
We've learned a lot about Julian's parents
What else did I
from
say?
that statement.
Yes.
I was like, what?
Not use against you, but other times when I've complained about like a workplace, like one small thing, and then later on, like I have the smallest thing happen. My mom's like, "You gotta quit," and I'm like, "No, I'm happy there. It's good." It's like, no. 8 years ago, you told me that they sent a harshly worded email.
Well, Paula is a legend, and she's never done anything wrong. So
that is not legally binding. Speaking of, thank you for listening.
you.
We will like and subscribe.
yeah, please. It does help a lot. So please do that.
We love you, and we'll catch you later. Bye. Bye.
Bye.